Right, so I'm still not entirely sure how I survived this night and got out of this situation.
Right, hop off a plane in Sydney after 36 hours travelling. I'm staying with my mate Ryan and his housemates for the next 14 nights whilst I get settled in. Now, I was highly jet lagged. Like, all I had done up to that point in Australia was ugly sleep for 18 hours a day and wake up in mildly warm drool. Third night in Australia, we're drinking and playing drunk Mario Kart. Super dope game, highly recommend. Then Ryan's housemate says, let's go clubbing, it'll be a laugh. And I'm like, that sounds so lit, yeah. Or, crazy idea. Or, you ready for this? Let's all get a good night's sleep and, rest. Because, you can never get enough rest. Right, guys? So we're entering the club and I'm very drunk because I somehow lost drunk Mario Kart.
But it was the Australian version of drunk Mario Kart, so I couldn't properly show off my mad skills.
Like in Australia, Mario's not even red. He's fucking blue.
Yeah, don't look that up.
But yeah, weird Australians are. Now, I was excited for this club because I'd never been in an Australian club before, and Australian women are known to be gorgeous, so I was pumped. But instead of a mad atmosphere and sexy women, I got this 2-tier level type bar with a load of blokes, and they all just had god-awful mullets, and there was very few women. It was highly distressing.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
So after I checked the diameter of everyone's mullet/hair, I settled on this slim but tall Asian woman, and we're talking whilst bowling. Yes, this place had a bowling ring in it.
Still not as good as a club.
Like, what? We could get drunk as fuck and then we're allowed to pick up and chuck huge balls perfectly shaped for replacing someone's head if they were to bump into you or look at you odd.
Health and safety, clearly not a top priority when it comes to getting loose in Australia. Respect.
So some time had passed, however long it takes to lose at drunk bowling. Me, I lost. And I realised that I hadn't seen my friends in a while. So I looked all around the club and couldn't find them. So, I was starting to get a bit nervous. I had no clue how to get home. I couldn't even pronounce the street we lived on. I used to just name the bar next to it, hoping people would recognise the Crow's Nest. Shout out to the Crow's Nest. Actually, no, Crow's Nest was shit. Fuck off. But I was reassured by the thought that there was no way Ryan would just leave me in a random club with a stranger, all alone, in a scary new country where snakes live on every street and there's mullets aplenty. Like, what the fuck even is Australia? Death surrounds me. I am not safe. Now, I took a step back and I reassured myself that there was just simply no way Ryan would do that to me. I just arrived in Australia. No sane human with compassion and empathy within their veins would leave a poor young lad out vulnerable on the streets when they don't know the local area. So I look down to check my phone and I see there's one new message. It's from Ryan. We left. Good luck, Shagger.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I am going to murder him. Probably with the bowling ball. So I ring Ryan and there's no answer. I try his mates and still no answer. Right, so now I'm wondering whether I want the aisle or window seat on my flight back to the UK when I snapped out of it and thought, wait, what would Bear Grylls do? How would he survive this unforgiving environment and defeat the drastically unfavourable odds that he's facing? Of course, I must be taken into a home so I can shelter from the harsh cold of night. And protect myself from the deadly surrounding Sydney environment and, the mullets. So I came to the conclusion that I must go back to this woman's home, sleep with her to fight another day, of course, then deal with getting back to Ryan's house in the morning, Bear Grylls survival style. I wondered what weird bugs I would have to eat for breakfast and odd species I would encounter. This would be my Saving Private Ryan war moment. But in this case, I was saving my own ass by going back to an attractive woman's home rather than plunging into the front lines of the World War II trenches. I know which scenario most men would find more frightening. Oh, and of course, the Ryan in this story was a drunk arsehole who had completely fucked off and left me, the dashing young hero, to die. Thanks for that, buddy. So me and this lovely woman, who I could have swore looked considerably younger at the start of the night, left the club and headed back to hers. It must be like 4 a.m. We're canoodling, but I'm starting to realise this woman is old and really strange. And this part I can't even really explain. She kept calling me a little doggy or some shit. And I went along with it because, survival mode. And I'm kind of weird too. But she was acting like she loved me already and was saying, oh, you're not going to break my heart, are you? Such a good young boy. And first of all, I was like, woof woof, because I'm a dog. And I'm committed to my role. Like, I'm a team player. I know my importance. But then I was like, damn, how old is this chick? Like, she going to start talking about the olden days? Oh, I remember remember the first time I met Korean Jesus? And I was like, no, of course I'm not going to break your heart.
I literally could not remember her name for the life of me.
Anyway, went to bed, wake up, and Ryan's left a voice note with the address. Roll over. What the fuck? Whose nan is this? Like, fuck, shouldn't you be in a care home or some shit? Okay, so she wasn't that old, but like, she went from looking 19 in the club to basically needing a walking stick by the time I was sober the next morning. So we converse in the old game of small talk, when she offers me to stay at her place for the next 2 weeks while she's out of town back in Korea. Me, a complete stranger. Yeah, seems pretty normal, checks out. Now I was like, ooh, on one hand, save money, so there's that. But on the other hand, she's clearly deranged and is going home to tell her parents, sorry, they've probably died during the Korean War, tell her granddaughters she met someone. So I did my due diligence and I checked the place out, and I came to the realization that, yes, okay, right. Nope, doesn't live up to my spoiled private school education standards of luxury. So anyway, I got the fuck out of there. To be fair, for a nut job, she was sweet. But all old people are nice, like what? So they're just going to spend whatever little time they have remaining left being a dick. Then my Uber driver, who had seen her walk me to the Uber, who bearing in mind was like in his mid-40s, basically revealed to me his Asian fetish as he continually asked me for tips on how to date Asian women, and whether there was anything new that he would need to know in comparison to talking to common Australian women. His words exactly.
I know, guys. Thank God he didn't have a mullet.
But yeah, he was incredibly racist, and I do not recommend. His cleanliness was pretty good though, so I gave him 5 stars. Anyway, of course I got the dress wrong, so I had to endure his awful company for another 20 minutes. Got back to Ryan's, took a deep breath, patted myself on the back for demonstrating my insane survival ability, lay down on the bed, and considered whether I should put myself forward for an island survival show, and I got a bombard of messages from the old gal. She's sweet, and did what most people would do. Blocked her, and went to sleep covered in warm-filled drool. Cute.